Good afternoon, folks. Welcome to another Sunday live stream. Hello, chap. Good to see you. Hope you're all having a nice Sunday afternoon. Free of all the usual obligations. And or chocolate. Hello, Colorima. Right. Let's dive into something different from all the usual games that I play. A little bit of Divinity Original Sin. Of which I was part of the Kickstarter campaign to get that funded. Obviously not the original, the enhanced edition, but the that's fun. Doing single player. I just go classic mode. Right. Let's design some characters. Any of you got any good names for them? Right, customize. What shall we pick? Let's go with female for the lead character. Actually, that's the wrong word to say, but... Alright, what class do we want? You could have any class. Hello, SI. Yeah, so Divinity Original Sin, a game that I have played a long time ago. And actually finished at one point or another, although I'm not sure if that's still relevant, because I think with the enhanced edition some changes were made to how the story plays out, sort of. Needless to say, I've not finished it again, because these RPGs usually take a lot of time for me. So much to do. I think I'm not gonna go with Wayfarer. Samantha? Alright, Samantha's good. But what I need is, well, that depends really on what I want to play, isn't it? Doesn't it? For the first character, I probably will want, well, a ranged option for the most part. Probably not the crossbow, but we'll see. Let's see, do I get a...
Careful now, that's a trap.
What could that have done? Careful, I've spotted a trap.
Perhaps I can detonate that explosive from a distance.
I'll go with the rogue voice. Let's give her a collar. Make her a bit more outdoorsy, so August Sun. It's a nice little town. And... well, let's not go full tribal, but... maybe a little bit of... that is ridiculous. Kind of funny, but let's not go too ridiculous. That'll do. Here, let's go with something wild but practical. Yeah, let's go with the predator look. Hair color. See. Don't usually like all the flashy colors all that much. Jet black is fine. And underwear... Go for something a little bit sensible. Right. For attributes... Usually a firefighter, yeah. Well, at the moment she's called Roderick, so... We've got room to expand on all that. And I kind of want to have Pet Pal standard, really, because that is just too useful. Scientists... I mean, that's also kind of useful. I'll just leave that for now. But I definitely want to go with bows. I just like bows more than crossbows. Even with the critical chance stuff. Skills, expert marksman, geomancer. I don't know. Well, geomancer wouldn't be bad. I mean, it allows us to summon a spider after all. We can pick up more skills later. Lucky charm, that's probably fine. Crafting, definitely. And nasty deeds. We'll want to pick up some lockpicking at some point. I think now this'll do. Alright, let's see. So for now, we'll just call you Samantha. Please spell that Samantha. Alright, let's customize this one. I think for this one, we're going with a male. For no particular reason. Alright. What kind of class do I want? Could go full wizard, but I think maybe battle mage, probably. Cleric. Wizard. Yeah, Inquisitor might be a good choice. Yeah, we do need someone at the front, but I do have a plan for that. Not at the start, of course, so we'll need to be a little bit more clever in how we approach certain situations. But we definitely want to be able to do something. Let's see. Use the range of spells and scrolls. Stench. Maybe we can find something a little bit more interesting. How about Magician? If we are going to be using wands. Yeah. Dual wielding. I don't mind dual wielding. Nothing in defense. Let's not be an area surge. See. I wish I could put more points into pyrokinetic. I would like a point in Geomancer, I think. Just so we can both throw stones. Alright. Boulder Bash. Having no one with charisma could be a problem. Alright. That's probably fine.
Careful now.
Better to detonate that mine safely than trip over it myself.
Let's pick a face. Do we only have beardy people? Alright, what face would say Inquisitor? That would actually kind of be a fitting name. Kinda. I mean, seriously, how does that character get hit with -11 AC? I think my Inquisitor probably would have a much more... There's a beard. We'll have you... Golden Touch is probably fine. Alright, let's give you a beard that matches your portraits. Here we can be a little bit more fancy. Not that fancy. That's probably fine. It's an old picture. Just had a haircut. Hair color... Not quite as red as we have now, perhaps? That is the lightest red we have. Well... Right. That's all we really want. Alright. We'll go with this. Samantha and Al. Yes?
In the days of old, the sorcerers of Riverlong cured the sick and healed the wounded through a great
Well,
power called Source.
let's not get too optimistic. I mean, Wilson did get turned to stone in that last fight with the Twisted Rune. He wasn't completely unscathed, but he does seem to be hitting much more reliably than Anoman ever does.
Between Riverlon and the dark power that threatens to destroy it. Wherever Source appears.
And I'm not really using guides to keep my party together. Alright, time to deal into some silliness made by Larry in the studios.
Rise and shine, Master Source Hunters. The cam wants you up on deck. Hear them calls? Means we're close to shore. I don't ever you go in there, Master Source Hunters. City's full of undead, hungry enough for blood. But you're supposed to investigate that murder, ain't you? They say it's Source that did the Counselor in. Source in a city like Syceal, nowhere safe anymore. Here they are, Captain Sir. God's blessings on you, hunters. You'll be happy to hear we've reached Sicil. But there's trouble offshore, so we'll have to sail in carefully. Here, have a look. Those are orc ships, and they're blocking our passage. We'll get you as close to the city as we can, and drop you off on the beach. Be wary now. Orcs are on the attack. Undead have closed every route out, and there's a sorcerer on the loose. If we're to get justice for the Counselor, you'll have to keep your wits about you. May the luck of the gods be with you both, Source Hunters.
At least I can appreciate they went for a regular enhanced edition. Nothing like War Masters or Definitive. Alright. So we have our characters linked. Move about. Let's lead with you. Right, how do I highlight stuff again? Alright, with Alt. This does not look like a very safe coastline, but...
If I didn't know there were orc ships raiding to the west, I'd mistake this for a placid beach.
At least the orcs make a bit of noise when they attack. It's dark-dealing sorcerers that'll strike with neither warning nor mercy.
And they confirm all the hotkeys, so I don't accidentally pick the wrong one in battle.
Is that a corpse? What's it doing here alone?
What, did you expect it to have an entourage?
Alright, let's see what that journal is all about. Rejoice, for the statues have granted my wish. Their whimsical nature, however, must not be taken lightly. So before I soar through the sky like an eagle, I'll attempt a mere hop from the cliffs down at the beach. It should be a small feat for a man that can fly. If this experiment is successful, the sun shall be my next target. Yeah. Alright, that doesn't sound like a good idea.
Can you believe this? The man jumped off a cliff at the behest of some statues of all things.
Pure madness. How could someone be so utterly naive?
Pure madness. How could someone be so utterly naive?
Right, the line's all going to be voice acted. There's no point in me putting up voices.
Rivellon is no stranger to the supernatural. He might well have flown into the sunset and looked down at us cynics laughing.
Right, I'm not entirely sure which direction I want to go for the for that particular thing, the pragmatic stuff and all that. But I definitely want her to be pragmatic. He can be romantic for now, I guess. I do kind of like that system where you can change your attributes a little bit by being by the conversations you have and all that. But I kind of wish it would just tell me what it was doing. At a backpack. Alright, so painting of a landscape. The helmet. Alright. I mean, cute, but not gonna be the most useful right now. Alright, a little bit more of a look around the beach. Pick up all the shells. Yes, there is a talking shell somewhere on the beach. Not entirely sure where it is, but let's see, did we just do a full circle? Yeah. But this beach is quite a bit longer than it looks, so I think it might be over there somewhere. And the waypoint shrine, that's up here somewhere, isn't it? Yeah. All the way up here. Alright, so let's not worry too much about that, and let's just head this way. Into combat!
Source hunters! How did they find us?
Take the stone to the temple. These whelps will be easy to crush.
As you say, Madam Conduit.
Arise, fair dead. Seize upon our enemies.
Not so much for fair dead. Right. Yeah. Go on. Alright. Let's just stay back for now. And
Death is its own deliverance!
right, I need 3 AP this, so
Die, vermin!
woo!
Their leader said something about escaping with a stone.
Stolen from this dungeon, I imagine. Can we get inside?
Those thieves were more than petty criminals. Their leader gave life to the dead. What stone could they have been so keen on taking?
Alright. I'm thinking 2.
We can't well turn away from such an odious show of source. Let's investigate the tomb and see what answers it might reveal.
That's Anomen is probably a bit more stick in the mud. Let's go with the
Until
orders.
we're briefed on our intended
Right. Dependent. What's that do again? Willpower and obedience. Right. Age to robe. Pick that up, I guess. Alright, I do want to go into the dungeon, but for now we'll just focus on what's out here. Yeah, I know. I mean, I know it's optional, but it's also, you know, free experience.
Look! A wanderer comes my way, walking the sands upon which this poor shell must suffer.
Alright, let's go with number 1.
Call me Ishmael, son of the sea, an outcast upon these wretched shores. An exiled shell, doomed to live under a canopy of arid sky, not his native tender water.
Alright. Well, it seems strange that he can talk, I think. The second question is probably more interesting.
It's a cruel one, I assure you. How many snot-noses have held me up against their dirty little ears, only to claim they can hear the ocean?
Yeah.
Of course they can hear her, the brats. We are on the very edge of the great aquatic mother, whose embrace I so desperately long for. Of course I can talk, don't be silly. There's more tongue to me than heart. Indeed, the surprise should be mine, for I still remember the days when your kind swung from branches and plucked the vermin out of their neighbor's fur.
Yeah, you don't seem to remember the past very fondly.
Time is an indulgent mistress to one who spends happy hours as she passes. But when your existence is one of misery, she becomes a lethargic hobby.
He's got a very nice vocabulary, though.
Oh, I remember ancient times, for I have lain here since antiquity, when the ruins around us were palaces, and the sun-bleached dead merry children. All this I have seen, alive, alone, alas.
So it's the sea's embrace you long for?
Yes, yes, I, King of Pearls, ache to repose anew on his coral throne. Hurl me toward the water, swing me as far as your arm's strength gives release, and treasure long sunk I will grant thee.
Alright. Hey, oh, Leafler Hair? Welcome to the stream. Yeah, Divinity Original Sin was always one of the games I was planning to play, but I was never sure if I was going to turn it into a Let's Play. I might still do that, but for now this will be fine to stream. See what the silliness I can come up with. I should decide what to do with you.
What do you return the King of Pearls to the sea, so he may yield you long-lost treasure.
Right. Well, what character would Samantha be? Would she want the potential treasure, or just sell him? Chat, help me out here. What kind of character is Samantha? Would she sell him, or would she set him free? Mean, set him free? Kindness is his own reward. And then there's the promise of treasure to boot. Let's throw him into the sea.
Kindness is its own reward. Then there's the promise of treasure to boot. Let's throw him into the sea.
Right. Alright. What about Anuman? How would he react? Is he greedy? Or does he agree with Salmon? I think he's probably a little bit docile in this case. He's already obedient. Sam has made a decision, in a way. I guess he can agree with her. Alright, let's send him home.
Agreed. Let's send him home.
Liberator, kind benefactor, bless me the might of your sea-bound bitch. The sea, I have returned. Where every wave feels like a mermaid's kiss. May the bounty of the deep be yours, along with my eternal gratitude.
A fair throw from the oyster shell as well. And we get the mermaid's kiss. Which is a nice bit of ring. Equip it. What armor does Anuman have on? Was Hunter's robe. Let's put that. Alright. At least a little bit better equipped. Yeah, I've not properly looked at it. What do you have? An old wooden fire wand, an old wooden air wand. I don't think I've ever really played with the wands. Guess they can be useful. Alright, let's pick up more shells. Because why not? And we discovered a waypoint. Ooh, a free shovel. Let's take the arrow shafts. Those will be coming in useful. Ooh, we got lucky. Nice. I do want to know, let's see, altruistic increases our reputation. Egotistical improves our bartering. Alright, for the sake of story, I would probably also have set Ishmael free. It just is the nice thing to do. As much as I enjoy playing evil characters sometimes, in this case, it just never felt worth it. Alright, let's do the optional stuff. Because I like it. And there's probably at least something here that is kind of useful. We at least get some free lockpicks, hopefully. A fuse. Fire arrow, alright, that's useful, but... Alright, can I destroy this chest? Yes, I can. Alright. Well, it's better than no cap, I guess. Let us keep exploring and all that. Alright, let's just make sure we've got everything that is to be hidden here. A water balloon. And some wood chips. Alright, let's move this out of the way. I do like the physics system that they got with this engine. I do hope it's being put to good use in Baldur's Gate 3. If I ever get around to playing that at some point. I mean, I don't even know if it's out yet. Turn that off because the blinking is gonna drive me nuts.
Careful! There's a mine in the middle of our path.
Someone must have an interest in protecting whatever's kept there.
Well, yeah. Thank you, Captain Obvious. Generation scroll, nice. I don't have the means of deactivating that. What is quick save again? F5. Can I shoot? Yes, I can. I mean, sure, we could have, you know, been careful and all that, but a more firepower approach is probably also useful. I like solving things with firepower. Anyway, we want to apologize for not being able to stream last week. I was kind of actually looking forward to streaming on Easter Sunday, because I figured everyone would be having some time off and all that.
Always heard there's typically more to a king's tomb than meets the eye.
It could be a myth, or it could be our lucky day.
Or it could be a trap. Let's explore everything else before we touch that. Ooh, a guitar. Well, none of us are bards. There's another chest over there. Must be lockpicks somewhere. Right. A key. Oh, well, I can use that. And a neat weapon. But yeah, after the whole premiere thing and still recovering from the cold that I had picked up in the week before that, I was just totally drained and not feeling like I could do anything sensible because I hadn't been able to check if any games would really run. Or the mental fortitude to actually do anything interesting. Kind of defeating to just stare at your... This chest is probably too tough to break with weapons. Can we beat it with fire? It'll take forever. Alright, let's just ignore that chest for now then, because I don't want to stand here bashing it. Team head, hoping that we can find something that'll help us open it up. Knockdown arrows, always useful.
This seems to be broken.
Indeed it is. I think I've mastered everything here. Let's just talk to the rat.
Do you like shiny gems as much as those other fellows? I admit the King's Stone was pretty, but hardly as tasty as a nice crumb of stale bread. Oh well, whatever tickles your whiskers.
How about you? Are you got the same lines?
Oh, how nice to meet your acquaintance. We rats may be small, but that makes it all the easier to keep our ears to the ground. Friendly-wise, I'd say we rodents are the best friends an adventurer can make.
No, that's probably true. Alright, let's see what the King's Tomb has hidden. An old parchment. Gravekeeper raged, Quinn. Enter graves in the antechamber before moving into the inner rooms. To proceed, stand very close to the impressed door and press the button that appears on the right-hand side. Alright, what about if we drop a boulder on it? And then set it on fire.
Reduce to ash!
Alright, let's just brute force this thing. Dirty chest, though. Alright, that's slightly faster. Ooh. Never mind. There's the lockpicks. None of you saw that.
I've spotted something.
I knew there were lockpicks somewhere in this place. Alright. And how do we activate this thing? Let's turn the camera. Maybe there's something hidden on the walls?
Maybe the lock can be jimmied.
Alright, let's pick the lock. Oh, that worked. Fire resistance potion. That's almost ominous. That water or oil? The rain scroll, right? That could be useful. Like there's nothing else here. And we have a water barrel that we can move about. Well, maybe we can move it about. Probably quite heavy. Don't have enough strength. How about you? No. Now we definitely need to get the telekinesis in order to do that. But we have a scroll of rain, so we should be able to make this a little bit easier to deal with. Well, we can't move them. And we can at least do that. And that's always nice to find a book of recipes. We don't have to douse everything, but that'll do.
Hold! Our enemies have laid a trap.
Trap disarm cool toolkit. Nice. And ornate key. Alright. And another cap. Send that to you. Getting a little bit overloaded with stuff. You know, you're the magic guy. Let's give all these scrolls to Arman. I don't have anything to craft at the moment. Just keep moving. Alright, so how's your week been?
This seems to be broken.
Fireball scroll, always nice to get some freebies. But still. Oh, we don't need the fireball scroll. You can just get rid of it like that. Yeah, this cave is probably going to be as straightforward as this game is ever going to be. But when I played this game for the first time, I got pretty much stuck in Sisal. Did not know what to do, where to go. Going outside of town before you're ready is just asking to get killed. Well, as long as it's not totally working against you. And that's shiny, so that's probably important. On with fluids. We get to it. Right, so that opened something, I guess. Well, I hope you find it, as I know you've been frustrated with stuff like that. Frankly, I've been hoping for some good news all around the world, but so far we've not really gotten anything. That's just a barrel. Well, it was a water barrel. It is not. Get you out of the way. Knock him in the face. Wooden log. Yeah, I do also wish that willingness to work would be properly rewarded more than brown nosing does. Right, so this is caused by something, I guess?
What's this?
Yeah, here it is.
I found something.
I need to put stuff on those vents to shut them off. Right, cool.
I've spotted something.
Send to Arnhem. An outdated short sword and an oil flask. Neither of us use a short sword, but suppose if we ever get into close range.
I think I hear voices downstairs.
The last thing we need is to surprise another angry summoner.
Well, taking him by surprise probably would be a good idea, actually. So... nothing here but us rocks.
My roads are soaked! You better hope there's no hint of a flame in this place! Oh, I wouldn't worry about that.
I feel uneasy here. I'd better keep my weapon at the ready.
You don't know that! Those cultists have been poking about for days!
Right. They're probably not friendly. Right. Got the opening here. Not sure that did anything, but right, move out of the way.
Your grave opens to welcome you.
Cool, that worked. It even gave us a fireball scroll just in case I didn't pick up on what we could do here. Yep, still the most straightforward bits of this game that ever existed.
Do you like shiny gems as much as those other fellows? I admit the King's Stone was
Ah, that's just the same thing we've already heard. Yeah, I do like this game. Well, as much as any of the other Divinity games, I guess. Although I've only ever really played Divinity 2. And a small bit of Divine Divinity, but didn't we get too far into that one, I think? Well, actually, I don't know how far I got into that one, because no easy way to track your progress as such. Alright, let's put stuff on these pressure plates. Well, it didn't fill the room with gas, so I'm guessing that's fine. At least this part of the dungeon is easy enough that you don't really need the full party for it. And we already have a cooking pot, so I suppose pick it up anyway. Could sell it later, maybe. Alright, no, we need to go this way. What else is in here? There's a trick to using this door. And no, we need to be loose. You stand here. You stand here. Then we save. And re-attack. Because we got a minor spot of combat about to happen.
A living rat dares disturb the slumber of the dead? A thieving fool insults the sanctity of the grave. The Bloodstone Defiler, where is it?
Bloodstone? I don't know what you mean.
I suppose you only crept among these sacred tombs for leisure. I suppose you had no lust for the treasure of the dead. Ha!
Well, I met at 3 or strange cult-like figures before the entrance to this tomb. They seem to have a precious stone in their possession.
Strange indeed. Robed indeed. Your tricks will not save you from retribution, deceiver. The Bloodstone, deliver it now, and I may deign to end you quickly.
I do like that the undead are more eloquent in this game. So much better than the brains variety or just the rattling of bones, which I suppose can be more unnerving.
In life, I toil to care for these holy grounds. In death, I protect them from profaners and poachers. The legacy of Cecile is mine to preserve. Her traitors are mine to destroy.
If you are here to protect this place, then why is your grave all the way at the back? Wouldn't it make much more sense to be buried in the front where you can actually, you know, protect? I'll just take my leave.
Run if you like, Defiler. Whichever way you take leads you to the grave.
Let's see if I can do this. Like, we definitely want to summon a little bit of help. And let's dump a stone. He's out of reach. I don't have the points to do anything. Let's just step back a little and end that. You deal with that. I was kind of hoping for a little bit more, but a little bit too far away, but he should still be oiled. Aww. Right, fall back. Ouch.
Death is its own deliverance!
Death never dies, fool. Death in 1,000 forms rules all.
So dramatic. Right, we should be able to finish this here then. As long as the spider doesn't die. Oh, nope. Nice.
Here lies Master Ragequin's second apprentice, killed by dying.
A very common form of dying.
Here lies Master Ragequin's first apprentice, killed by a falling corpse.
I wonder where the corpse came from then. Still, if he was here to protect stuff, didn't do all that great a job. Alright, so these don't really change anything, and I think yours are probably just as good. Alright. And so far I've not really found anything that is going to change the way I'm gonna play this. Do I just open this? Yes, do. And where are we?
Still can. To your very good health.
Close to where we can progress the story. Well, that can happen. I mean, there is a teleport spell that will allow you to pretty much just dump whatever you want on people. Including other people. Right, firestorm grenade.
Another one for the collection.
Alright, these two look a bit drunk.
Scum. No one slips past the Legion unchallenged.
Calm down, Junius. Doesn't look like one of them orcs to me. Not a single horn in sight, you know.
Just hold your tongue, will you, Bibius? Can't be too careful. We are sworn to protect Sightseal.
Huh? Alright, well, they may be drunk, but they should still be listening to reason. We are here on Source Hunter's business. Here are our orders.
So, you're sorcerers, are you? And how are we supposed to verify that's true? We can't read, my friend. So for all we know, those papers say you're a polymorph parrot on the lookout for a 2-bedroom birdcage. They don't prove a thing.
Uh-huh.
You know what? We'll take you two to the wizard. I know he reads. He has books large as a house, that one. Yeah, he'll squeeze the truth out of you, one way or another.
Right. We want to follow their lead. I'm thinking Samantha probably doesn't need an escort.
I don't need an escort, especially not a drunken one. Back off or face me.
Would Anoman disagree? I mean, he's probably a stick in the mud for that. And face me too.
And face me too! You two are a disgrace to your uniforms.
You defy the Legion, will you? The punishment for that offence is death.
Well, you want to be lawful stupid? It does make me kind of wonder where she pulls that spider out from.
You were right there.
Seven have mercy on your soul.
And we leveled up. Nice. At least those fools served the purpose. Right, so what would be useful here? Getting a point in dexterity seems like a good idea. And for abilities... let's actually get a point in lockpick. And let's level you up. Get a point in intelligence. And... skills wise, can't really get anywhere. A point in telekinesis.
Well, there we have it. 2 dead legionnaires.
They deserved it.
They deserved it, the cretins.
Well, Anoman is an inquisitor. Going with the inquisitors I know. Not gonna shed tears for the stupid.
Right you are. I'll not shed tears for the likes of them.
Heartless, alright. Not sure that's the trait I want to go for, but at least it's now on the map. Alright, so... I might want to go for the compassionate trait for her at least. Heartless doesn't really do anything. Alright. Well, we'll think about that. A place... what is that? And another book. Yeah, that's fine. I'm not going to look at that all that much. The place, a fish. All right. And now we can make pizza, I think. Let's just keep picking up stuff, as long as it doesn't give us over encumbrance. I don't know. What do you think, chat? Should I have done that differently? Showing some pity on some drunk legionnaires? Or maybe I should just install a mod that tells me what each of my actions will do. Another water barrel. Looks like we're gonna have some fighting. Alright, finally a bow. Equipment. This is a crossbow. Right, equip that.
I guess someone else got here first.
Right. Orcs it is. This shaman probably needs to die quickly. Right, never mind then. Well, at least these legionnaires are doing their job. Right, ricochet.
Death is its own deliverance.
This fight should be going our way. For sure that the fight with the Orc Trooper was not going to go quite as well. I mean, it might still go bad, but I think these legionnaires can probably handle that. Right. He's just out of range. Ooh, nice. We actually hit him. And...
Did you see that? Those orcs had a human commander.
Who was that joker
How
leading those
very
orcs?
curious.
Damn traitor.
And how very
Where are
disquieting.
Bibius and Junius? Didn't they hear the fight?
I like you much better with your guts
Taken
on the
before his
floor.
time. Far before his time.
Yeah, I'm not sure those drunken louds would have been very useful in this fight. I'm sure Cecil will not really miss them. Not a cooking pot. Not just corpse over here. Can we get on board the boat? No, we cannot get on board the boat. Ooh, but we can get over here. Always seems like such a nice thing to do. Alright.
What's all this ruckus? Sounded worse than a dozen tomcats fighting over the world's last mackerel. Ah, but I see we've suffered another orc landing. And judging by the relative ease with which it was dispatched, I can only come to one conclusion. Source hunters have arrived in Sicil.
Yeah, I think there is a way to resolve the whole thing with those drunken legionnaires peacefully. I mean, you can just do as they ask, and they will escort you to the wizard, which is Aru here, and you'll come across the fight anyway.
You're as welcome as a glass of cooled milk on a hot day, my friend. I'm Ahu, at your service. It was I who requested your presence in this troubled city.
I was summoned here by a cat.
So you were, and so you weren't. Behold, there we are. Meet my other half, Hunter. Ha ha! No need to look so flabbergasted. I may be a wizard rife with tricks and guile, but I assure you my plea is an earnest one.
Indeed.
So, now that the cat is out of the bag, let us turn to the matter of Councillor Jake's murder.
Please tell me more about the murder.
It's hard to put my finger on it, but I can feel in my very whiskers that sorcery was at play. Visit the scene of the crime, and I'd bet sardines for salad you'll say the same. Captain Aureus, though, the local commander of the Legion, insists I'm seeing ghosts. I insist he's blind to all but the undead.
Alright, where can I find the scene of the crime?
Jake was murdered in a downstairs room of the King Crab Inn, up in Sicil proper. The Legion keeps it under lock and key, though, so you'll need Aureus's permission should you want to have a peek.
Uh-huh. A councillor has been murdered, so I assume there are some suspects.
So there are, or rather, there is. Popular opinion has it his wife did the deed, but to be frank, I have my doubts.
Well, Frank, what doubts do you have?
She seems a likely candidate, to be sure, but that would make her a sorceress. Esmeralda knows how to charm, yes, but I just don't see her magic extend beyond a frolicsome look and wink. Still, don't simply take my word for it, Hunter. It may be well worth your while to cross-examine her yourself. The Legion has her under guard in her shop near the town square. That's where you'll find poor Jake's widow.
Hmm? What else is there to discuss? Well, it may interest you to know that the orcs we took care of were led by a human.
A human, you say? Truly? But that would be like a kitten leading a wolf pack. And yet, I have heard rumors about a sect of sorts, a shadowy set of worshippers that associate even with orcs. Some say they're sorcerers, but people will say that about anyone who behaves a bit strangely nowadays. I don't quite know what to make of this news, but thank you for informing me. It'd be foolish to dismiss such a curious event out of hand.
What exactly is the trouble you're having with the undead?
Ah, the undead. They've been clawing their way out of the ground for 2 years now. And for 2 years the stalemate between them and the living has been dragging on at a weary pace indeed. The Legion did a good job keeping them at bay, but I think it's fair to say that without my magic-infused ballistae, they'd have gotten the better of us by now.
Mm-hmm.
Someone is responsible for the outbreak. Necromancers are at work, but who are they and where do they hide? Alas, that searching for them is like searching for a single louse in a lion's mane.
Yeah, that sounds like very annoying to deal with. From what I've seen and heard, this isn't the first time we've had a problem with marauding orcs.
Unfortunately, that is absolutely correct. The orc siege is yet another hairball stuck in this city's already choking throat, and it shows no signs of abating. We've cordoned off the western beach where most orc activity has been reported. For the 9 lives of me, I can't seem to figure what they're doing here. There's nothing of interest along the waterfront, except for a set of caves with an unfavorable reputation. Maybe they're after some pirate's treasure, the fools.
Tell me a bit more about this cat trick of yours.
Oh, but that's not a trick. It's a blessing. Or does it surprise you that I enjoy taking a feline guise? Such magic is a gift, Hunter. To tread upon the realm of instinct. Even articulate speech, perhaps humanity's greatest asset, cannot give expression to something so inextricably innate. To be out in the night, to stalk on silent paws and hunt with only the moon as your witness. You couldn't possibly imagine the thrill. But of course it's handy to speak in more than meows. And I couldn't brew potions or make machines without opposable thumbs. This I freely admit. Let's just say I have found a way to enjoy the best of 2 worlds.
I'll take my leave.
I'm glad we've met, Source Hunter. And I'm certain we have a lot more to talk about. Feel free to visit me whenever you want. I've set up a workshop in the Legion's headquarters. Once you're there, just take the stairs, but do pay a visit to Aureus first. He may bark like a beagle with its tail stuck in the door, but you won't get very far in your investigation without speaking to the de facto leader of Sicil.
All right.
And with that, I bid you adieu, Hunter. Adieu and good luck. May your enemies prove to be mere mice, and you the dauntless mouser.
Sex, undead, orcs. Looks like we have our work cut out for us.
At least we won't be bored. How about we go and see that Aureus chap Ahu mentioned?
Yeah, probably a good idea. So much left to loot. Like starfish. Yeah, I like Aru. Interesting character. Alright, just citizens.
Save that ship all by your lonesome. Quite the feat. If I had the magic touch about me, I'd have lent you my hand too.
How about that burning ship?
I thought the old gal's fate was sealed when the orc shaman set his fiery gaze on her sails. But you managed to rescue her from a watery grave. Closest thing to a miracle I've ever seen.
Alright. That's good that we're making a bit of a local legend of ourselves. Oh, why is that, Kalaruma? Guess there's so much more to explore and see.
Really? The greatest warriors in Rivellon can't cross a rope?
Right, how do I do this? Yeah, I can see that. Like I said, I had a similar problem before. Let's not dawdle too long here in the docks. But we do want to have a talk with any named characters we can find.
Sauce? Here in Seal. Damn. Of all that cursed hunks of rock to land on, Conrad chooses this one.
That was quite the attack on the harbour.
Who knows if it's even over for sure? Those damn orcs keep sending us these terrible surprises.
About that burning ship?
A ship's got a soul too, you know. You did a mighty fine thing saving that barge. For those of us raised in crews instead of families, it's kin to saving a fellow man.
Right. Let's talk to the captain, I guess, then. Conrad.
Ahoy, sailor! Are you enjoying the fresh winds of Seal?
Tell me about yourself.
Name's Conrad. Cargo trader, sea captain, an expert in all things nautical. Folks across Andervale know to give old Conrad a hollow when it comes to rare imports and magical items.
What do you think of that attack on the harbour?
Those orcs must be out of their barbarous minds launching an attack on a city where a great wizard resides. Though even I must admit they put up a hearty effort.
Yeah, not to think of it, I've never seen Aru fighting. I mean, he's got those nunchuck kind of weapons.
I'll tell you, the only time I'd consider waging a suicide campaign like that would be if whatever I sought was something worth dying over.
I'll take my leave. Alright, we don't currently have anything to do with him, but that's fine. Alright, let's just leave the harbor for what it is. I know there's a way across from here, but I can't remember it. It may involve some items that we will not get until later. Let's talk to these bulls.
I'm seeing 2 feet approaching me, and here you are. My powers astound even me.
Tell me a bit about yourself.
I'm Bull, the leading clairvoyant in Seal. The 2 feets never bother to ask, but I see all that is and is to be.
Can you tell my fortune?
Of course, most winsome 2 feet. Of course. What would you like to know?
How will I die?
Death. Ever the most difficult topic to foretell. I see. Oh dear. No, Your reading is over. Do you hear? Over.
Oh, that's kind of abrupt. Alright, this is open. Let's just investigate. Right, I'm pretty sure we are not allowed to take anything in here.
Salutations! Source hunters, I see. I'm Sergeant Courteous, proud protector of this House of Legion goods.
Right, tell me about yourself.
Courteous is my name. The Legion is my calling.
What's in that room exactly?
This is a storing house for Legion supplies. Perhaps the most important building in the realm, by my and others' estimation. And I, Sergeant Courteous, have been trusted to guard it.
I'll take my leave. Alright, he seems to take his job very seriously. And, you know, he may be right. And I'm seeing some things in here that might be worth having a gander at, but we are not here to steal.
One day, Moira. One day you'll show 'em all. Well, a source hunter. About time the council took us seriously. Maybe you can start with the two idiots hiding their pet orc here.
A pet orc. Alright, that sounds like a very bad idea.
Who better than a proven orc crusher to convince my dumbbell of a friend here that orcs are predators, not pets?
Enough of that. I know how dangerous an orc can be, but this one has been reformed. Anyone can see that she's completely docile, but my prejudiced friend here still wants to kill her.
Alright, tell me about yourselves.
Maybe before the great orc raid we had time to indulge Ninius's idiotic obsessions. But now we're needed at our posts. I can hardly believe I've been wasting time protecting an orc when I should be running them through.
Excuse my friend's violent outbursts. He hasn't enjoyed a woman's touch in quite some time now. It makes him a bit edgy.
Your woman's touch is less of a loving caress and more of a claw shanked brutally through the throat. I'll take my chances as a bachelor, thanks.
What's this about a charmed orc?
My friend here and I were patrolling outside the city walls, when who did I see creeping along the shore but this lovely orcish lady? For a brief second, as long as eternity, we locked eyes. Perhaps confused by the butterflies in her stomach, she sprang up and began running, claws bared towards Marius. Fortunately for him, I had the presence of mind to ignore my sword and instead adroitly fling my pouch of trinkets towards her.
I'm not entirely sure that's how it went, Ninius.
A vial of love potion shattered over her head, and when she turned to face me, she became instantly enamored. I'm sure she must have been compelled to join the Orcish army under some kind of duress.
A hopeless romantic.
Such a sweetly savage manner would never willingly join up with those vicious marauders.
Ha! I can assure you there wasn't a hint of sweetness in those murderous eyes when she lunged at my throat. She may be confined here for now, but who's telling when she'll escape and who she'll rip to shreds?
A love potion. Tell me more.
I've always had an amateur interest in all things alchemical. When I read in an esteemed periodical from the Wizards of Youthful Gore about an amazing opportunity that could change my life, I had to act fast or lose the once-in-a-lifetime deal. I sent away for the world-famous love potion, available for a limited time only, and it has worked exactly as promised.
You see what a fool my friend has been, spending all his cash on snake oil and bringing a temporarily tranquilized monster into our midst to boot.
What kind of monster would lie in a published advertisement? I'm sure the effects of the potion will be everlasting, as printed.
Alright, so Ninius is clearly a big fool.
You see, he'd believe it was noon at midnight if he read it on a printed pamphlet. please tell me you can reason with him, or ditch reason and use your sword to shave him from his murderous darling.
Alright. How shall we handle this? Yeah, I have no idea exactly what this does, so... I think we gotta be heartless here, though. I mean, we could leave her alive. It is an option. Yeah, let her live. If that potion were truly worthless, you wouldn't have been able to charm her in the first place. In this docile state, it could be a source of valuable information, even though she doesn't make anything other than those oohing noises.
Let her live. If that potion were truly worthless, it wouldn't have been able to charm her in the first place. In this docile state, she may prove to be a source of valuable information.
Well, I don't think Adaman is going to be very interested in that.
You would trust a quack magazine from youthful gore? She's clearly liable to snap at any minute.
Now, we can intimidate, we can charm, or we can reason. Which one of these would be the best way to go? Keep in mind that I have no points in any of those skills, so... Right, I think we're gonna go with reason for this one, with Samantha.
Think of the intel this creature could provide. And if she begins to revert, these men are armed and will be able to subdue her.
And I think Adaman will also use reason here.
You must realize that if this orc gets loose in the city, we're the ones who'll have to put her down and deal with the bloody aftermath.
Alright, now we get to play a stupid little game. Alright, as we are in control of Samantha, we'll be playing her part, I guess. I think... rock. And I win. And he will counter with rock, so I'll be... or... nope. Ah, he wins. Paper. Nope. Ah, darn it.
One day you'll show 'em all.
Right. Going equally right now. Scissors. Darn. Paper. Alright, comes down to the final throw. Rock. Alright, Adaman wins.
Alright, we'll do it your way.
Glad to hear I'm not the only one with common sense around here. I'll do the honors myself.
No! She's harmless! Please! You bastard! You had no right!
No right to protect not only you from your own stupidity, but myself and the citizens of Syceel as well.
It's you we need protection from, murderer. Fortunately, the Wizards of Youthful Gore make a revenge elixir that will show you what's what.
Go ahead and throw your sugar water on me if you like. Your foolishness is no longer my problem. Thank you, stranger. If you ever need help, I'll do my best to repay you.
Yeah. we see that? Well, it doesn't matter either way. And for those interested, leaving her alive will do exactly what you think it will do. Eventually she'll snap out of it and kill Ninius.
Plenty of fish in the sea, but I've got the foulest of the lot on my legs.
I should have done this from the very start.
And let's talk with you.
That orc would have literally broken Ninius's heart. Thank you for resolving the matter.
You moved fast. I did not see you passing me. Alright, let's move into Sisal proper. Look at all the potentials we can do later. It's a very nice defensive town, even with a drawbridge and all that. Legionnaire, 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 and...
It never ends around here. There's a zombie in my garden, my sheep is missing, an orc ate my baby. Night and day, day and night.
That's fine, we'll just keep moving. Plenty of places still to look for. Let's see, the crime scene is over here, but we can't really do anything. We need to head to Arius's office before we can do anything. Yeah, the thing with directionless RPGs really is that you need to talk with everyone in the hopes of finding something useful. Which, even for me, can get a little bit tedious unless you know what you're looking for.
Say, no one's around. You wouldn't raise a fuss if I, borrowed one of these fish, would you?
Borrow indeed. I'll sooner meet a cat wizard than see that merchant repaid.
Well, Aru is in town, so very good chance of seeing him.
Come now, I'll be good for it, I swear.
Are you in a habit of stealing?
I never would have dreamt of resorting to petty theft during better times, but what choice have I got now? If it's steal or starve, I'll choose steal.
I kinda agree with you. Tell me about yourself.
Oh, my story's tired by now. I was happy enough, prosperous enough, before these lean times around Sicil began. Still, that doesn't waive a man's need to eat, you know.
This is going to be interesting.
So what do you think? Should I snag a fish?
Why are you asking me?
Sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Everyone needs a hand now and then. Take the fish. None of us will be the wiser.
Everyone needs a hand now and then. Take the fish, and none but us will be the wiser.
The undead quiver in their mouldy boots.
Yeah, let's just be charitable here.
True enough. Without a bit of charity now and then, the world would be a far crueler place.
That's the spirit! Or should I say, the soul?
Oh, don't make me regret that.
Hey, that's my fish.
Sir, did you just steal that fish?
No, I paid for it. The merchant just left, but I paid. I paid before.
You were a witness to this event now? Tell me what happened.
He's telling the truth.
This man is telling the truth. He paid for that fish fair and square.
Yeah.
Quite so. I saw him pay the merchant.
I can't thank you enough for your, discretion. I'll be going now.
Well, sorry to have bothered you then, sir. Carry on.
Alright. So, fish vendor.
Oh, hello, love. Nice day for a little stroll around the market, isn't it?
Yeah. Captain Jack.
What are you staring at?
Tell me about yourself.
Captain Jack's the name. Though the title may be a little generous at the moment. My crew ran off, and I can't find enough hardy souls to help me reload the ship and sail off.
What happened to your crew?
Those scallywags heard there be silver in the Lacula mines, and they abandoned ship like the lily-livered turkeys they are. Haven't seen them since the day we docked.
I'll take my leave.
Any
Alright.
takers? Come on, you chickens!
And let's talk with Jerome.
Low proportionate one. I can see from the symmetry in your face that you are a great fan of the fine arts, no?
Tell me about yourself.
I'm a painter by trade, as you can see, but a cartographer at heart. You might think there isn't enough work for one of my talents in a downtrodden city like Sicil, and you'd be quite right. I travel around Andervale, mastering my craft and finding new subjects to add to my litany of lovely portraits and complex maps, like this rooster I'm working on now, and the landscape that surrounds him.
Let's do a trade. Alright, so he sells treasure maps that I currently cannot afford. And that's not what I wanted to do, but... And I don't think I have anything really to sell him.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese.
Kinda would like that treasure map. Do I have anything of value?
Red and orange, yellow and green, the finest veggies Sicil's ever seen.
Potions to bemuscle you, scrolls to entussle you.
Alright, let's actually...
Good day to you.
See, let's get that out of here.
Lonesome, spiritless. Perhaps wrestling an earth elemental will inject some vim into your routine.
How lovely to see you again, haver of the beautifully shaped shoulders.
If you could choose the finest greens.
Never mind. Let's just move on. Alright, so we have the other merchants about. Here we have the Fletcher, which could be useful.
What sort of arrows do you want? Freezing? Silver? Poison? Get to the point.
Alright. These are all spell books we could daily use. And possibly we can get a better bow here.
Sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
A bow that gives us more health. Always useful. I mean, for now we just do not have the supplies we need, but I could perhaps just sell some of my stuff that I will not need. Like some... in the boots we can still use, but we don't need these cloth braces.
Heavenly herring, delicious dogfish, yours for a scrap of gold each.
Alright, just make our load a little bit lighter. Alright, let's just keep moving forward. Want to at least talk with Aureus before we finish today's session. Although we still got an hour to go, so... Any more interesting characters to... I do like how the town feels very much alive.
You don't think it's infected, do you?
Now, I pulled her off you before she could do any real damage.
Any real damage? Are you joking? I've been mauled. I'll be disfigured for life.
Ah, come on with the dramatics. It's not as bad as all that.
The face, Virius. She bit me in the face.
Look on the bright side. Everyone knows the ugly soldiers are the most ferocious.
Ugly'll be the least of it. The beast looks rabid.
In that case, you'll have the pleasure of putting her down yourself.
I wish for you to try it, Screech woman.
The beast speaks? So you've half a brain behind that feral maul, have you?
The cretin's question crossed her lips and aped an air of aptitude.
Hey, Tull, I think that was an insult.
Don't pay attention to the beast, Various. You'll only encourage it. Hey, who's that then? Come on, stand where my good eye can see you.
Easy, Tull. That's the source hunter you're talking to.
Curious situation you got here. Is the woman in this cage under arrest?
She may have the look of a woman if you squint hard enough, but she's no more than a wild animal. We got reports of a strange-looking outsider skulking through the town with her bow drawn. I found her crouched behind a tree, taking aim at a fat old rat trotting along the city walls. I tapped her on the shoulder to see what was what, and the beast startled like a wild cat and lunged right at me.
Why would you tap someone on the shoulder like that? Of course she would attack you. Hello, Mounts. How are you today?
Bit Tull you right in the face, she did. It wasn't pretty, and now it's got a chunk ripped off it to boot.
Enjoy it while you can, Ver. There's not another legionnaire in the cohort that'll have you if I go rabid.
And what will become of this admittedly strange stranger?
Well, that's to be decided. She doesn't seem to be sick, despite Tully's moaning. We can't keep her here forever, but we can't well send her into the wilds again, can we?
Well, you probably can.
Recruits, that was sloppier than Sicilian stew. Again!
Now, I kind of do like this character, though. Good to hear. Perhaps it'd be worth taking this stranger on our wing. It'll likely come in handy if we can trust her to watch our backs.
Perhaps it'd be worth taking this stranger under our wing. She'll likely come in handy if we can trust her to watch our backs.
Yeah.
After all, a fearless hunter might prove quite useful for our investigation.
Well, that's a relief, ain't it? We found a good home for her after all, Tull.
Heed me, Source Hunter. She's not good for anything more than cannon fodder. And don't turn your back on her when she's got that bow within arm's reach.
Alright, so now we have acquired Bear Daughter. As you can tell by her name, she was raised by bears.
Source Hunter, I have heard tales both grand and terrible about the world of humans. I myself was caged one moment and freed the next by our kind. In Home Forest, every creature acts according to the nature of its kind. Birds frighten easily, badgers fear little. But amongst men, there are no guarantees.
Alright, well, let's go with the first option here.
You think that's funny, Private?
Sir, no, sir.
We take each other in stride and prepare for either. You'll find your fellows surprise you for better or for worse and in equal parts, Bear Daughter.
It is difficult for me to claim humanity as you do. I am still learning to see myself in the faces of those I meet. And those I meet do not always see themselves in me. It is strange to stand with one foot in the forest and the other in the city, Source Hunter. I am glad that now I have you standing beside me.
For now. So let's just reclaim your weapons.
That was sloppier than Sicilian stew. Again!
Right, so Bear Daughter has air recovery, bully, and stench. She's good with a bow, and she has got some tenebrium resistance, which is something that will pop up later. Expert marksman, And she's a lore master. She knows a lot of stuff. Because she has read a lot. Regardless, that is not our concern at the moment. Now, as much as I like Bear Daughter, we already have an archer in the group, so I'll probably not keep her around for long, but I couldn't leave her in the cage. Alright, let's talk to the commander.
What have we here, then? A so-called source hunter, eh? Well, look, do what you must in Scythiel, but don't make waves and don't interfere with the Legion's affairs, you hear?
Alright, tell me about yourself.
I'm Captain Aureus, if you must know, leader of the Legion in Scythiel. By which I mean I have the enviable task of commanding a battalion of walking dead. For I fear it may well be but a matter of time before the undead undo all my soldiers and turn them into drivelling hordes of their own misshapen number.
Alright, let's discuss Jake's murder.
Gods above! Some politician snuffs it and everyone's in an uproar. Ridiculous! I told that wizard brat of an Ahu not to bother. But he just had to send for source hunters, didn't he? Bloody magicians. They see a pigeon poop and think sorcery's afoot. Nevertheless, I want to be kept in the loop. Understand? I am in command of this town. Not Mayor Cecil, not Ahu, and definitely not some hotshot source hunter. So investigate Jake's death if you feel so inclined. But report back to me the moment you discover something out of the ordinary.
And Aureus is just stuck in a tough job that he doesn't really like. I can understand his mood, but yeah, he does give off bad guy vibes from all this. But I think that's more clever misdirection in this case. I think a servant of evil would act nice, would feel fouler, but act nicely. Yeah, he's definitely overworked. I mean, keep in mind, this town has been under siege by the undead for 2 years at least. He must be exhausted.
The scene of the crime is over at the King Crab Inn. You can tell the guard you have my permission to enter. Now off with you!
In regards to Jake's wife, Esmeralda.
Esmeralda is Jake's wife. Well, widow. Everyone in town, down to the crabs on the beach, is convinced she killed him. Now, the girl has the reputation of being a flirt. There is that. But that doesn't suffice as evidence, wouldn't you say? Or do source hunters rely on hearsay alone, perhaps? That certainly would explain some of the cock-ups you lot have made in the past. What? You're going to stand there and claim with a straight face your order never wrongly tortured and executed anyone? Hardly. But I won't stand for such nonsense. If you bring evidence before me, I'll evaluate it with perfect objectivity. The Legion relies on reason, see? Not idle superstition.
Well, at least that I can appreciate, if he can truly be objective.
If you must.
Your main problem is the undead.
Bravo! Figured that one out, did you? I haven't been stuck here for 2 years because we're being besieged by fluffy kittens, you know. Those brain-feasting freaks out there keep on coming. And it takes all the sword arms and all of Ahu's half-baked contraptions to keep them at bay. Keeping them at bay, that is all we do. Were that I could break their backs once and for all.
Alright, let's ask a stupid question. How are you enjoying Cecil?
How am I enjoying it? Are you spoiling for a fight, Hunter? Are you? Scythiel stinks of fish, reeks of orcs, and on a good day the wind disperses the stench of decomposing corpses. I can't remember the last time I had a proper piece of steak, and by now I retch at the mere sight of sardines. So in conclusion, I am not enjoying Scythiel.
Tell me about the Legion.
We are the pride of Rivellon, to be found and to be seen everywhere. We don't hide in the dark and lurk in corners like some I could mention. No, We protect the civilized from the barbaric, and we do so impeccably.
What, in your opinion, are the orcs doing on the beach?
I'd say they're looking for weak spots in our defenses. They can't make an attack over land for fear of Ahu's magical machines, so they're trying their luck by sea. They won't succeed, though. Not against the Legion.
Well, Arhu tells me he suspects a sect might be at work around Sisal.
Yes, and he also spends most of his time in the guise of a cat, licking gods knows which body parts. Sects, sorcerers. He'll be seeing flying carpets next.
I'll take my leave. Alright, so I kind of would like that book. And to read his diary, but that's likely not gonna happen while he's in here. And I'm not gonna trust my sneaking ability to take it while he's watching. Let us go investigate the crime scene. That's at least the most straightforward thing we can do. And we can also talk with you.
Source Hunter. A sight for sore eyes if ever there was one. I know you're probably knee-deep in that awful murder investigation, but truth be told, the Legion could use your help as well. We've been conducting a series of expeditions into undead territory, and I'm afraid I must admit they've met with very little success.
Alright, with whom do I have the honor of speaking?
Lieutenant Selenia at your service. I'm Captain Aureus' second in command. But rest assured, I am a lot more kindly inclined towards source hunters than he is.
That would be kinda nice.
Now, I certainly don't mind a bit of healthy competition, and even rivalry between our orders. But I, for one, have no intention of looking a gift horse in the mouth. And that is exactly what your presence in Sisal is, source hunter. A gift and a blessing. Only heroes such as yourself can make a true difference in this troubled part of the world. Such is my honest conviction.
Let's discuss the undead.
The undead. I pitied them at first. Many among them were once kind and innocent civilians of Sisal after all. No longer do I feel that way, though. Too many of my soldiers have fallen. The dead must be put down without mercy, if we can. The bravest among my men and women tell me they are weaker in the west and stronger in the east. So I suggest you head westward if you want to flex your muscles and test the waters before blindly diving to your death.
I'd like to talk about some matters concerning the Legion.
I shall be very glad to share what information I can give you.
Let's discuss the expeditions into hostile territory you've mentioned.
If ever we want to be victorious in Sisal, we have to track down the root of the undead uprising. Under the Pact of Volunteers, 3 expeditions were launched to do just that. But so far, none of their participants have returned. 3 landmarks were chosen for further investigation. The Lighthouse, the burial mounds, and the Old Church. Places fraught with danger all.
Regarding the Lighthouse.
There's a lighthouse to the west, up on the bluffs, overlooking the sea. No man has gone there in a decade, and yet a light shines from its pinnacle every night. The locals say it's haunted, and half a dozen legionnaires have gone to find out whether or not those are mere tall tales. I fear for their safety.
So about the burial mounds.
There are ancient burial grounds to be found north of the city. As good a place as any to start looking for necromancers, wouldn't you say?
True.
A local archaeologist offered to tag along with the men. Here's hoping his knowledge on the subject may prove to be of use to them.
Let's discuss the Old Church.
There's a church to the northeast of here, built atop the very place where once stood a temple dedicated to the source. The Sicilians razed it, and built a church for the 7 instead, supposedly to symbolize the victory of the gods over evil sorcery. All superstitious mumbo-jumbo, if you ask me. But when the dead rose, that is when they were first spotted. Hence the expedition.
You mentioned the pact you made with the Legionnaires.
So I did. The Pact of Volunteers. Many Legionnaires will do whatever it takes to go home, which is why I personally sign their transfer orders the moment they make it back from a mission behind enemy lines. The chances of survival during these sorties are only about 1 in 10, you see. So my soldiers are free to volunteer, and if they are successful, they just bought themselves a boat ride home.
I'll take my leave. Alright, that seems like a fair enough deal. Alright, let's head over to the crabs thingy. The king's crab? Krusty crab? I don't know. Ooh, yeah, certainly getting lucky here. Let's get some wood stumps and chips. Chips. Right, Esmeralda is over there in that building, but we'll consider her once we are done with our investigation. Ooh, free gold. I do like it. Alright, this is a mug of wine. Not sure why you would put that in a wooden barrel like that, but sure. What's this sign say? Town hall bathroom. Well, probably better that we don't interfere with that. Alright, the...
You there! A moment of your indulgence, if you please. You are the source hunter, are you not? The hero the whole of Sightseal is abuzz about. The talk of the town. The juiciest grape on the grapevine. Such a pleasure to meet you. A delight. No, scratch that. It is so much more than a delight. It is an intervention of fate. Yes, that's it. Fate has put me on this very spot, so I may tell you all about a most intriguing opportunity indeed.
And you are?
Mendius, at your service. What is my profession? Well, I'll tell you what it used to be, and that is a man of medicine. But what does a man of medicine do but mend what has first been broken? I saved lives, to be sure, but today I change them.
Right, that opportunity you mentioned?
Oh, it's not merely an opportunity. It is a once-in-a-lifetime chance to become better. To become the full extent of the promise that is locked inside of each and every one of us. So first of all, let me ask you this question. Do you like adventure?
Well... what would Arneman say about that? Well, I'm here to do my duty, which is hardly the same as adventuring.
I'm here to do my duty, which is hardly the same as adventuring.
And I think Samantha does like adventuring.
So you mean to say we do not live a life of adventure? We don't do anything else all day long.
Waiting for what, exactly?
Clearly, two strong personalities stand before me. Two who voice their opinions with vigor when they differ. What else could I expect from mighty source hunters? Too bad your line of work comes with such measly recompense. Am I right? The wage of a mere soldier. Now, between you and me, tell me truthfully, don't you sometimes wish you could earn more?
I mean, this guy gives me all the wrong vibes about door-to-door salesman or someone who tries to get me stuck with some MLM or something like that. Alright. Does Arneman like riches?
Riches do not interest me much, actually.
I think Samantha does, however.
Really? I wouldn't mind earning an extra penny here and there.
Well, don't quarrel about it on my account. Still, if a matter is divisive, it is divisive mainly because it is alluring. And riches are so very alluring. Even so, my friend, matters of a pecuniary nature aside, what is life without variety, without spice? To be a source hunter must get frightfully dreary sometimes. Am I right? All those orders. Investigate this, retrieve that, and at the end of the day, what do you have to show for it? Wouldn't you prefer to call your own shots? Be your own boss?
I think Animan probably follows.
There is no shame in following directives if your masters are worthy of your trust.
Delicious dogfish! Yours for a scrap of gold!
You'll always stay menial with that attitude. Just what those trusted masters want.
You disagree with one another. But that proves you are firm-willed. That you have the minds of independence, not dependence. Admit, life's too short to spend it doing someone else's bidding. Am I right? Of course I am. And I could help you attain the dream, enact the change you deserve. And that is exactly why I am here. Why fate has put me right by the door to the King Crab, so that I could meet you and tell you about the marvel that is the Fabulous Five. The invitation to join is yours. Grab it.
Alright, I'm gonna regret this, but tell me more about the Fabulous Five.
Ah, the Fabulous Five. How I enjoy simply saying the words that describe the most illustrious and celebrated adventurers' guild in Riverlon. Our mission, to better the world. Our mantra, to better ourselves as we do so. To realize our dreams and cleanse our souls. You'd like nothing more than to enlist, wouldn't you? Of course you would. And you can. Of course, if you still have questions, I shall answer them to the best of my abilities. But if not, how about we get started?
So what is it that the members of the Fabulous Five actually do?
What a gem of a question. Straight as an arrow, sharp as a switchblade. Most meritorious of you. Now then, to join the Fabulous Five is to join a fellowship, to join a fraternity, a sorority, a community. The title of Knight is bestowed upon you the moment you sign our waiver, and so it all begins. I shall be the one to give you your first contracts, and once the job is done, I shall see to it you get your fair share of the reward. Of course, should you spread the word, should you propagate the gospel of the Fabulous Five, and thereby draw new knights into our fellowship, you will get a share of the reward from their contracts too.
That sounds like a pyramid scheme.
By now, the genial glow of the fellowship must have warmed your heart. It has, hasn't it? But did I say fellowship? I mean family. For like a family, we support one another, cheer one another, see each other through thick and thin, partake in glory and defeat. Work hard, fulfill contracts, enlist new knights, and swiftly shall you rise through the ranks. You will better yourself. You will better Riverlon. You will make the stars shine all the brighter, and you'll get fabulously wealthy in the process. What's not to like?
Well, what do you think, Chad? Good idea, bad idea? You know what, let's just do it.
Of course, of course, of course. All you need to do is sign this waiver, and just like that, snap, you're part of the family. All I need is your lovely little autograph. What do you say?
That excuse is more holes than a slice of this
Alright, let's just do it.
Join a guild, better the world, earn a lot of gold? Yes, count me in.
And me! May all the riches in the world be ours!
Marvelous. Magnificent. Oh, but what am I saying? Fabulous is the word. You may not realize it yet, but your fortunes, your very life is about to change for the better. So let us not dilly-dally. To business. Your first assignment is ready and waiting if you're ready and willing.
Alright, about my assignment.
Oh, it's a pretty straightforward task, this one. Now, in this town dwells a wizard. Ahu is his name, and he's a frightful eccentric. Scientific type, you know the kind. Favors reason over faith and all that. Not Fabulous 5 material, him. His experimental weapons may keep a couple of skeletons away from the city, but many of his other researches failed, malfunctioned with tragic consequences. One of them was a big lumbering apparatus, a frightful automaton shaped like a giant made of steel. It was supposed to crush the undead by the dozens, piloted as it was by a trained legionnaire. But you can guess what happened. Did it become sentient? Was it cursed? Whatever the cause, the thing relieved itself of its pilot and headed north towards a network of caves. Now ask yourself, what if it comes back? It could smash the city walls and claim 100 lives before being subdued. Luckily, there are those in this world who belong to the Fabulous 5. The braves who eat such monstrosities for breakfast. Go, my friend. Find this wizard's abomination and claim your just reward from Mayor Cecil in the name of our hallowed guild. Easy money.
You're not worried about the undead out and about?
They call the undead a problem, my friend, but those who know the ways of the Fabulous 5 see no problems. They see opportunities. An enterprising spirit can wrench riches from cold dead rocks, or from cold dead full stop.
I'll take my leave. I've heard quite enough of you. Yeah. Alright, let us...
They say he's privy to ancient and arcane secrets, the likes of which I
Well, suffice to say it, I've got my eye on you, Baron.
I am a duke, potato-eating peasant.
Back, demon! Back, or I'll... Well, what's this? Oh, Medora, you lummox. 1,000 pardons, comrade. This old bear's edgier than a dodecahedron these days. I'll tell you, it sure does me good to set eyes on another of our order. From Academy West, aren't you? Give Captain Wartruce my regards next time you see him.
Careful now.
Who did you say you were? I don't recognize you from the Academy.
You wouldn't. I trained up in Academy North, after all. We don't cross paths with you Westies all that often, but it's always a pleasure when we do. Medora's the name. Retired, or so the Order keeps trying to tell me, but never out of commission. My hand to your cause and my sword at your side.
I hadn't heard of another source hunter being assigned to Cecil. What are you doing here?
Heavens hornets! That's quite a story, comrade. And come to think of it, one that might concern you. See, I'm here on, well, let's call it a loan from a town to the north of here. Hunter's Edge by name. There's been an attack there, comrade. Orcs. Not your run-of-the-mill savages either, but ones who've taken dark magic to new heights. What they want in Hunter's Edge, I can't say, but it's my responsibility to send them packing. Preferably with their horns in their suitcases and a knee-knocking fear of ever crossing paths with a sauce hunter again. I came south seeking the Legion's help, only to find it tied here in Cecil. They don't have a spare soldier to send northward, and even in my finest form, I can't clear the place of that many orcs without backup.
Orcs attacked your village? How did you manage to escape?
By the skin of my teeth, comrade. The savages were rounding up villagers when one of them activated a tripwire on our village wizard's property. Fortunately for me, that particular wizard has a penchant for things that go boom in the night. I managed to wrench free of my captor's grip and flee toward the forest. He pursued me for miles, but I'd lost him before I made it into the Sicil hinterlands. Well, comrade, I hadn't thought of it till you tapped my shoulder just now. But perhaps that's where you come in. I need a contingent I can trust if I'm to take back the town. And the way I see it, you could use reinforcements here in town.
Alright.
I've been scouting Sicil for some time now, and I believe I've sussed out sufficient intel to help solve the murder of the Counselor. With our minds and swords in tandem, we'll make short work of the perpetrator.
Alright, so that's your proposition. You help us here in Sicil and we'll help you take back your home village thereafter?
Well, you know the old expression. 2's a tea party, 3's an invasion.
Not familiar with that expression.
Back of my hand by now, and the orcs up north will be short work for a trained-up trio of sauce hunters.
Alright, I think that's a good idea. Let's bring Medora along.
A fantastic plan. With 3 source hunters working in tandem, we'll put an end to all the evils bent against this fair land.
Another source hunter on the team will make us all the more formidable against this wicked magic. Welcome aboard, Medora.
That's the spirit. Listen closely now. Do you hear it? That's the sound of every orc and sorcerer in a 100-mile radius, shaking in his wee boots.
Alright, we'll put you a little higher. And we have Unsinkable Sound.
Never saw you in the king crab before. You're welcome to scratch me behind the ears if you like. I won't scratch back.
Alright, who are you?
I am Unsinkable Sam. At least that's what they call me around here. Used to be a ship's cat, but the clipper I was on sank, and I was the only one to wrestle himself free from the waves. The people here were kind and took me in. Been the king crab's foremost patron ever since.
Alright, tell me what the ship you were on.
A magnificent ship she was. Used to belong to a pirate, I was told. Unlike me, she didn't prove to be unsinkable, though. We hit the cliffs right neath the lighthouse. Not very apt a name for that building, I must say, for no light was shining from it. The moment I hit the water, I writhed around like I would on a hot tin roof. By some miracle, I managed to reach the beach, covered in kelp and smelling worse than a fish's funeral parlor. But I was alive, and that was more than anybody else could say.
You were the only survivor?
So I was. What friends I had. They drowned alongside the rats I used to hunt in the galley. And there I was, all alone. Not that I have it bad here, mind you. I've milk and fish aplenty. Most folks will pet me kindly, and when one of the village girls holds me tight against her ample bosom, I purr up a storm. But I do long for a companion of my own kind, and in that regard, there is no one like Maxine. Maxine, the mayor's darling pet. So gentle, so fair a feline. The grace of her whiskers, the subtle palette of dyes in her sable coat. She's one of a kind, that cat. She likes me. I know she does. But when I declare my love, she backs away. I don't know why. I have serenaded her and braved many a bucket of water for my efforts. But for some reason, she is not to be swayed.
I'll take my leave. Interesting as it is to see cats in love.
Vibrations, I'm sure. Don't be seduced, comrades.
You could even fathom, old friend.
Oh, sorry, Medora. I didn't mean to frighten you.
Oh, I don't think it's a good idea to keep these two in the same party for very long. Alright, let's just do the investigation now. The room is in the back.
Greetings, Source Hunter. I don't mean to hinder your investigation, but I can't open this door for anyone who hasn't received Captain Aureus' explicit approval.
I have spoken to Aureus. Let me inside, please.
Not exactly the friendliest bloke, the Captain, is he? Well, your reward for getting your ear chewed off is a waltz through the town's finest magical murder scene. Enjoy.
Indeed. Alright, straight towards the end of time.
What happened? Is this a dream?
I don't think so. That stone, somehow it sent us flying into the stars.
Now we're here. Also, I did not look at what Medora has. He has heavy armor by the looks of things. A two-handed sword. An empty backpack, that's fine. And she is good at two-handed weapons. He's decent bodybuilding, but she probably needs a bit of armor specialist. He's only skilled at men-at-arms. And she doesn't have any other skills. Alright, so she will probably survive a lot of things. Opportunists. Well, she'll be a good fighter. Alright, let's explore this magical place. Hello, zigzags.
By the quill that lasts a billion words, what's this? Two Rivalonians here? At the end of space and time? How very, very, very curious.
Indeed. Also that he doesn't acknowledge that both Medora and Bear Daughter are here. Who are you? How did you get here?
Oh yes. Proper introductions. Zigzags the historian at your service. It is my job to record all that was, and is, and hopefully all that is to be.
That sounds like a very tall job.
As for how I got here, well, for a historian appointed by the gods themselves, hopping to the end of time is as easy as 1, 2, 3. How you got here, though? That's a rather more interesting question. On such a tiny and rapidly shrinking vestige of space and time, I wouldn't have expected to find a soul but my own shadow.
Why is this place, as you say, shrinking?
Ah, at last a question I can answer most definitively. I mentioned already that this place is the end of time. If that didn't send your heart into your stomach and your pulse a-flutter, it should have. Time ought naturally to have no end at all. Indeed, I can think of no worse nightmare for a chronicler such as myself. But something totally, utterly terrible has happened.
How can time come to an end?
Show, don't tell, I always say. So go, peer through yonder looking lens, and feast your soon-to-be terrified eyes on the darkness that is approaching.
Alright.
I think that imp may be quite mad.
Yep.
Then we had better appease him and have a look through the looking lens.
You looked. You saw. Terrifying, isn't... What's this? The portal. It's...
Well, I mean, there's probably nothing here for me to take. A bottle of beer and wine. He probably won't miss it.
The portal! It's quite sprung to life, just like the long dormant flames that decorate this observatory. After all my waiting and hoping, could it be? You, dear stranger, you must be the key. Something about your presence here is causing the end of time to grow. The true end itself to move further away. Those torches, a light! This portal active once more. It cannot be coincidence.
Yeah. Can we first discuss what we just witnessed through your looking lens?
Goodness me, how right you are. There's so much to take in, I'd nearly forgotten. And what you saw has been haunting my mind since I first discovered it. It is the void itself. The dragon that is devouring creation. When I speak of the end of time, this is exactly what I mean. I can't say for sure where it came from, how or why, but I do know this. It's shrinking our future by the second. And if we don't stop it, it will devour the past and present as well.
You believe you're somehow connected to this plane?
It's not that I believe, it's that I have seen. Long have I been waiting here, hoping that one day this very portal would ignite. Then, no longer than a few mere moments after you arrive, zap it goes. The chronicler of time knows a pattern when he sees one.
What lies beyond this portal?
Ah, though I cannot say for certain, if it is what I believe, then our prayers might well be answered. In fact, every last question that ever plagues your noggin might well be answered, for I believe what lies beyond this portal is nothing other than... But why spoil the mystery? As soon as we leap through, we'll find out for certain.
Through the portal then.
After you, after you. Oh, what wonders we may find on the other side. You first, but don't dilly-dally.
I do kind of like these wobbling book stacks. They're so impractical.
Yes, just as I hoped. There she is. There it is. Come, don't delay.
And he's off.
It seems the imp has spotted exactly who and what he'd hoped to find here.
Could it be, milady? The weaver of time? Mother of history? Author of all that has ever been?
Indeed, Sir Imp. As surely as you are he who chronicles all that I weave.
Astounding! Unbelievable! I have so many questions for you, so much to ask, so much to say.
You have brought guests, I see. Strange. Very strange guests.
My reaction exactly, milady. It was their arrival here at the end of time that instigated my finding you. But why? Surely you must know.
This is a question better put to our guests themselves. Tell us, how did you arrive upon this plane?
Well, let's just be honest here. It was a stone, a strange stone that zapped us from where we stood in Riverland to this plane among the stars.
A stone? So, it was a stone that caused the great shock of energy that brought you here, and it infused you with new life as well.
Yes, we are fully healed.
So,
Yes, that is just what happened. Have you seen it before?
not like this, no. What happened to you is unique in all my work. Never had I experienced something so contrary to my nature. To weave something I had not seen, had not expected. Life does not simply spring into existence, you see. But yours has. You appeared before me from the moment you came into contact with that stone. Starstone. I now know it to be called.
But, Madam Weaver, how is it possible? Do you not see all? Have you not woven all that is and could ever be into your tapestry?
Like the stones, your guests are a mystery to me. I see them before me in this world, but their likenesses appeared not upon my tapestry until they revived the stone. Source hunters. It would seem that yourselves and Starstone are inextricably linked. Why and how, I cannot say, but I do believe that finding more stones will reveal to me who you yourselves truly are.
What is this Starstone exactly? Where does it come from?
Starstone is not what it seems, Source Hunter. Its true nature must be part of a greater secret. A secret lost, even to me.
Secrets within secrets within secrets.
Do you see what violence my work has suffered? What wounds lay upon the tapestry of time?
Yeah, there do appear to be some big gaps in here.
Mysteries of all time. Gaps in history. Oh, how they've tormented me for eons.
It would appear that Starstone transforms at your touch, granting me new thread by which to mend the tapestry. Thus, it restores time itself.
I see. What the void would shrink, Starstone restores.
Yes. Though I cannot explain why this Starstone is the antidote to the void's ravishment of our realm. If we do not restore time, if we do not discover the true nature of these stones, the void will consume us all.
Well, let's be practical here. We are source hunters of Rivellon. We have a mission that doesn't involve chasing down magical stones.
Without these stones, Hunter, there will be no Rivellon. The entire tapestry will crumble. Even this plane will fall victim to the void's insatiable hunger. For a reason I do not yet understand, you and you alone can unlock the powers within Starstone. But we are not the only entities who know these stones to be so much more than pretty gems.
Why, of course! That's what they were doing. I have recorded their doings, you see. Collectors of Starstone, more and more by the day. Now I understand. They'd keep the stones from our reach. They'd prevent the mending of time. That shall never be. As sure as Zix comes before Zax, we will put a stop to it. First we mend the tapestry, then we stop the void. Please, our most mysterious guest, are you ready? Are you willing? Will you hunt out the stones? Will you help us restore what has been lost?
Well, that is indeed a question. It is sort of the plot's MacGuffin. I mean, this is essentially the home base of your general operations, I guess you could call it. A hub of sorts, where you can unravel more mysteries about this world and its history. For indeed, there is a big mystery to be uncovered.
Not but a moment ago, we were hunting Source in Rivellon. And now, we're being told that we alone can prevent the end of time by way of some magical stones. What do you make of it?
Let's see, what would Samantha say? Would she want evidence? Would she just go with it? Go with it. Trust her senses. What do you say, Jack? Would you go with it? Or would you need more evidence?
So, what do you think, Source Hunter?
Get up, 6X. Go with it. Alright.
We can't deny our reaction to Starstone. There must be something to all of this, mad as it may seem.
Source Hunter, do tell.
Still, it's quite a leap from finding a strange stone to place in the world's salvation on our shoulders.
Still, it's quite a leap from finding a strange stone to placing the world's salvation on our shoulders.
Do tell.
Romantic, pragmatic. I should keep an eye on what my traits are doing.
What'll it be, Source Hunter? Do tell.
I really should keep her pragmatic if I want to keep her crafting up. Currently we're neither altruistic or egotistical, I guess. We are heartless, but we need to become more compassionate. We are renegade rather than righteous. We are considerate rather than blunt. And we are bold rather than cautious. Alright, let's just go with it, so he will shut up.
And the set of your brow suggest to me that you've not given up on our dear old Rivellon, not just yet. No, with you searching out Starstone, I believe we'll mend the tapestry in no time. We'll find out just who you are and how exactly to send the void back to wherever it came from. But you'll need a way to travel between Rivellon and this homestead, won't you? Who wouldn't want to see what fantastic changes your search will yield? And who knows what the Weaver might discover about you? Luckily, the power of portals is known to you, so I'll let you in on the little secret of how to transport back and forth from the end of time. Just, you know, don't go sharing it around. Never know who we can trust these days. Off you go, then. You've Starstone to find, and I've a tapestry to examine. Surely there must be some clue here as to how on earth you're related to the end of time.
The Weaver of Time said our finding Starstone helps her weave the tapestry once more. How is that possible?
Cross my heart, hope to fade in the void, I honestly don't know. But ask her. If she claims it is so, perhaps she knows why.
Let's ask some more questions.
Said to the ballista operator, shoot.
If I'm supposed to search for Starstone, it'd be handy to know where to start looking.
Wouldn't it just? Would that I had a Starstone sightseeing guide, but alas, such a booklet does not exist. Just like yourselves, Starstones are curiously absent from history, both in my writings and on the Tapestry of Time.
Yes, and oddly, there's a very large number of them in Sisal alone. Of course, we won't know that just yet. Shush, don't tell him.
From what I can gather, though, they were once cherished by devious sorcerers whose reign ended long ago. The stones are therefore most likely to be found in the ancient places of this world. Ruins, caves, the lairs of long-forgotten evils. Those are the dens you should frequent. 2 more pieces of advice. Don't go unarmed, and consult with my agent.
You say you are an imp historian, but you seem to be more than a mere imp and more than a mere historian.
Oh, I don't know if I'm more than those things per se, but having been given a divine mission can't touch me, that's one. Immortality is mine as long as no one skewers me with a sword, and even then I'll be back in a jiffy. But of course I have a price to pay for something that is priceless. It is my duty to record all of history, and an arduous task that is. Not to mention how much stress that void out there is causing me. The end of time. I'll be out of a job. So, gather those star stones so that we may know the history that was lost. Know so that we must not repeat what leads us to this dangerous precipice, but do better and close the dark eye of the void forever.
I still don't understand how the Starstone and Void Dragon are related.
Neither do I, but the mere fact that activated Starstone has set the Weaver of Time weaving again more than implies that it and the Void Dragon are natural enemies. This in turn more than implies that you are the Void's natural enemy, for it is you who is setting new events in motion. You who is handing the Weaver new threads. And that which she is weaving is more than an ornament to decorate the shelter plane. It is both history and future history. It is all of time. We may not understand the how yet, but our aim is clear. We shall save creation from the grip of the void. Now, isn't that a lovely mission?
Don't you find it somewhat lonesome being the sole chronicler of time?
Lonesome observing the frontier of creation, surfing the vibrant tide of the eons, always approaching yet never reaching shore? Lonesome being privy to all that has been and all that is?
Yes.
Well, yes, actually. I don't mean to complain, but one certainly doesn't mind a bit of company now and then. Perhaps you can imagine the profound pleasure it is to have made the Weaver's acquaintance after all these years. I can hardly wait to pick her brain about the great battle of the Sons of Sigurd. The last Rivalonian who remembers it died more than 7,000 years ago.
Oof.
Before you go, Source Hunter, a final word. Once you return to Rivalon, there will be someone waiting for you. My agent, my eyes and ears upon your world. I hope he'll be able to help you as much as he can. Time, I need hardly remind you, is of the essence.
Indeed. Right, let's loot best we can over here, because may as well.
I am the last chest, the last chest, the last chest! If you believe yourself worthy of rifling through my ample treasures, I do dare you to prove it! Find my 4 sisters, no more than one in each of the realms of your wide world, and each by each, you'll discover how to open me!
Okay. That almost feels like a conversation with luggage.
How welcome you are upon this realm, our most honored guest. I hope you begin to find this place more familiar than it may yet seem.
Yes, that is one thing with Larian's games. They get more verbose over time, it seems.
In the ethereal threads of eternity, do I record the deeds of gods and men, of beasts and spectral apparitions, the drift of continents through changing seas, the rise and fall of empires, the shift of every grain of sand on every beach, the fall of every raindrop on every world, the all but imperceptible touch of lovers' hands. This and all I chronicle without fault. Except, it seems, you.
There are more questions I have for you.
Ask and
and I shall answer, if I can.
Why is Starstone so important, and why does it react to me and my colleague alone?
Alas, the answers to those questions still elude me. You and Starstone remain the imperfections upon the tapestry. As yet, a hidden answer lies behind this veil of inscrutability, though. For the link between you and the stones reveals that your destinies are intertwined. I believe that starstones will not lead you to new places of wonder only. No. They will also lead to new knowledge through the restoration of the threads of old.
Alright, let's change the subject. And I'll take my leave, because most of those other questions are things that they have already said. Alright, so we now have access to rift travel. Most of these portals are inactive.
That is a good question, Zigzags.
Let us leave. Alright, so we would like to go to the North Gate.
I both chronicle and create, where you arrive at conclusions.
Let's go to the harbor at least. It's only a short walk.
Source Hunters, I welcome you once again to the realm of Rivellon after your travels through the chasms of space. Nice to have found a shelter, wouldn't you agree? Where you can come to no harm.
Neat.
I know the imp historian has told you about his agent on Rivellon, and that agent is I. So now that you know of the alliance between me and Sir Zigzags, let us turn to the business at hand. Starstone.
Let us do it so indeed. I would greatly value Zigzags' agent's advice.
And I'll be delighted to give it. Dark webs are being woven around these parts, and it is my firm belief starstones are the flies the sorcerer's spiders are trying to catch. It can therefore hardly be a coincidence that Councillor Jake was a collector of the stones we seek. His foul murder and the plight of dying time must somehow be interconnected. That means the task you have been given remains crucial. Find the assassin that did away with Jake, for you're bound to stumble upon Starstone along the way.
How did you find out that Jake was a Starstone collector?
While you were being lectured by our friend the historian and the grande dame of time, I snuck into his house and had a look around.
Ooh, you devious little kitten.
The advantage of being a cat, you know. You go where you please with impunity. And sometimes the lady of the house even rewards you with a slice of fresh herring. That's where I saw them in a cabinet. Mere slivers, but specks of starstones nonetheless. They lay there, silent and innocent, though bloody murder may have been committed in their name.
Why is it so particularly nice for us to have found shelter somewhere?
Don't we all long for a sanctuary where our worldly troubles can be held at bay? A bed or a basket so snug it becomes, in a word, safety.
Yeah, that is kinda nice.
But perhaps I speak only for myself, not for veterans such as yourselves that by necessity call any patch of ground they rest upon home. Like any cat worth its salt, though, I deeply cherish a secret refuge unbeknownst to anyone. To be able to repose without a care is such a precious circumstance, save it all too seldomly.
And I wonder, do you put absolute credence in the word of Zigzags? Time, void, the looming end.
Let me phrase it like Zigzags might.
Oh, please don't.
A universe without time is like a pen without ink. A pointless instrument stripped of the potential of creation. It is void. It is death. It is nothing. I'll not pretend to have all the answers, or that I understand all that is happening here and out there among the stars, but I do know I'd rather err on the side of caution. If Zigzags worries, I worry. We are talking about a creature, after all, that has reclined among the divines as nonchalantly as you and I lays beside the hearths of home.
Uh-huh. How did you become Zigzag's agent?
I met him first, a long time ago, out in the wastes of Youthal Gore. He wondered aloud what on earth a cat was doing out there in the scorching desert, then shared what little food and water he had with him. So I told him who I was and showed him my human form. He laughed and marveled and told me stories about his travels. In the end, he even shared his great sorrow with me. The unspeakable thing you saw through his looking lens. I was awed and frightened, but swore to help him in any way I could. As of now, that includes helping the two of you. Oh, before you go, here, take this teleporter pyramid. A handy toy indeed that Zigzags asked me to give to you. You'll need the other one too if you want to make use of its powers, but alas, I seem to have misplaced it. Don't worry though. Use this one here and it'll take you straight to its twin. Now that this matter has been settled, hunters, I shall detain you no longer. But rest assured, I'll do my share of hunting too. So if you spot a white cat during your travels, do stop to say hello.
Yeah, we might do that. Right, so he's given us the teleporter pyramid, which for some reason is very prominent in most of the Divinity games.
Unknown to all time, are you? Leave it to an imp to try to fill our minds with all manner of magical gobbledygook. I'll tell you who you are. Source hunters, members of the most esteemed order in Rivellon. Here to find out and grind out every last speck of dark magic in the realm. There, the enigma is solved.
Let's see. Would I agree with Medora here?
Slimy, reeking, rotting sea garbage.
Shiver me timbers and sliver me heels.
Oh, there. Just because Medora's upset that she doesn't get to be unknown to all time doesn't mean you've got to take her side.
What are you? You think I'm... Ha! No, comrade. You can keep the honor of being the object of the Space Imp's special interest all to yourself. I just hope this fancy of yours doesn't interfere with your real job, or have you forgotten that little detail already? You are...
Right.
But I've got the foulest of the lot.
Yeah, I know, but as there is a delay in stream, I sometimes have to make decisions ahead of what you can answer me, in case I do ask a question. It's already 4 o'clock after all, and I'm pretty sure some of you are getting sore bums from watching me make decisions that'll have us listening to more and more trouble. I'll just go and set the source hunters back into the room that we were meant to investigate.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese.
And then we'll move on to the rest of the day. Yes.
Actually, I think that's only roast pig.
Ah, yes, of course. This time.
Alright, so cheery little room. There is the Inert Stone. We'll just pick that up. And that's a key item? No. There it is. Inert Stone. Not really worth anything, but we'll take it with us anyway. But yeah. Quite a mess this place is. Plenty of things to investigate. But that'll do for the time being. I want to thank you all for coming by. Hopefully you enjoyed my little meanderings through the starting of this particular quest. I think we'll be going through this for a bit more in the coming streams. Quite a quest we have. Not sure if I'm gonna do the entire game in stream form. I mean, maybe. But perhaps not the entire time. In any case, like I said, I do hope you enjoyed it. Hopefully I will see you all next time. And have a good weekend, you all. Right. Yes, save. Before I end the stream, just in case something goes wrong. There we go. Alright. Oh. Come on, give me back sight. Thank you.